Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soul Survivors. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Sean, he, him, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. Soul Survivors is a continuation of events started in Seeds of Defiance. Following the death of Father Rex Alathai, several of his closest companions have gathered together to look into the mysterious circumstances in which he perished. Can the party get to the bottom of this plot and save Neverwinter? Let's find out together, after we have met the players and heard from our sponsors and supporters.
Hi everyone, my name's Talia and I am playing Zinmoira Lithram, the Dampier Grave Cleric of Kalemvor. After battling the undead in Dorano's Echo, they've come back to Neverwinter feeling more secure in their faith, but feeling the ramifications of that in their personhood. They're back in the city to go and take charge with their rightful position as the head of the Kalemvor Church in Neverwinter, but there are shenanigans happening again. Did not consent to this. No more shenanigans.
Hello, my name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns, as does... Hello there, Giacomo here, head of the circus and... I'm kidding. Nah, it's just normal Giacomo. I'm a reborn, you see, bit of a rogue. I was murdered, came back from the dead. Now I'm head of the circus and I'm here to solve some mysteries, save the world. Proper hero stuff, you know.
Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Arcana, who also uses she, her pronouns. Arcana is a half-elf artificer artillerist from beyond the stars. After sealing away a vast apocalyptic being on her own planet at Death's Door, available on YouTube, she has made a home in Neverwinter. How will she cope living in a non-post-apocalyptic deathscape? Will she learn to trust her friends? I can't wait to find out.
Hello, my name is Josh. I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be playing Jakarth Silrian, who also uses he, him pronouns. Jakarth has been on a bit of an adventure of late. He has been to other planes of existence, absorbed souls, then deposited said souls in the afterworld, or afterlife, sorry, and Valhalla to be specific, and is now back in Neverwinter to deal with whatever's going on here. Hopefully, nothing bad.
Hi, I'm Scarlett. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Hera, the Reborn Warlock, sent here by the Grave Mother, who we love very much, to assist with the Red Wizards and their dastardly plans. And rings. Mostly about rings, yeah.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check out their entire selection, including some limited roll-together dice. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER, all caps, at checkout, you'll get 25% off your next purchase.
Big love to our D20 club on Patreon. They're great. You're wonderful. We love you so much. And they help us keep the kobolds in line, which is very important. They get up to all sorts of cheeky jam-related activities. Anyway, the D20 club, they've created a fan Discord where you can come and chat about all things Roll Together. And they've created a wiki page to help you keep track of all of our stories, which you can find at rolltogether.fandom.com. You can join and be as cool as they are from as little as one of your local currencies per month by following the link in chat or in the description below.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation, then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
We are happy to be supported by Homie and the Dude. Homie and the Dude are a father and son duo, a group company that make various different TTRPG supplement books, which includes The Wandering Tavern, and coming soon to Kickstarter, they have a new Dune/Mad Max inspired book called Scorched Basin. You can go check out all of their stuff following the links in chat or in the description below. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER at checkout, you can get 10% off of your purchase.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. by searching Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and want to see our previous adventures, you can catch up straight after on YouTube or on your favourite podcasting app by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
And with all that, let's begin. Hello, and welcome to Soul Survivors, episode 4. 4?
Paul.
Amazing, I can still count. What has happened so far? I'm not going to give a full recap. I'll give a rough recap of the last session. So, last session, the team were about to face off against a large spectral cloud, a dead, giant, undead thing. And just as they thought that they were going to be facing it alone, I say alone, the 4 of them, a 5th arrived, and Hera was bamfed in, courtesy of Grave Mother. Between the 5 adventurers now, saw very quick work of the giant, and began to kind of relate what had been happening to each other. We had a little bit of to and fro with some of the patrons and owners of the Beach Leviathan, where you had been meeting the Red Wizards of Thay, who turned out to not be the same Red Wizards that own the boat. No, in fact, they were splinter section against Zaztam, and unfortunately an attempt had been made on one of those lives. Probably very poor grammar there, but hey-ho. During the kind of chat, we were trying to work out, what the next move would be, and then received word that you had been left some opera tickets by a mysterious cloaked figure that appeared to have potentially tabaxi-like features. Who knows? So that is more or less where I want to pick up. But before we all arrive at the opera, was there anything that anybody wanted to do in the run-up, or are you happy to just kind of time skip from one evening to the next?
I mean, we did have a very intense RP second half where just lots of characters turned up and there were costume changes and everything. Personally, I'm happy. I think because me and Hera don't sleep, that we are doing this sort of thing of like just standing near Chikaf going, have a good night's sleep.
Oh, bless him.
Oh, he's gone off to Beddington. Oh, you little prince. Yeah.
Josh, I'm sure you're very happy that you were reminded about all of that.
Oh, Hera didn't eat a sock. I think that was the final thing. So we're very proud of Hera.
Yeah, you'll fail one of those checks eventually.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Tom?
I think Giacomo is just sort of slightly biding his time. Like, nothing big. I think I was playing a board game with Hera, and we just had to do that quietly. Yeah.
You kind of reach for Jenga, and then you're like, maybe just Scrabble. Slap, 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 slap.
We're playing a very quiet game of Uno, which isn't so good because it's just the 2 of us. You're like,
snap.
Red.
You're still being too loud.
Sorry. Can we go on the roof?
Somehow I think that would be even louder.
The sound of a rogue opening a window, flipping out, and then offering a hand to Hera. pull my walk up, and we're just sitting on the roof all night, being like, so, how's the Grave Mother?
Gossiping.
Yeah.
By now, you okay?
Yeah, my lovely wife, who I love very much, back at taking care of the circus.
Oh.
Yeah, we've got to behold her. I know I just said that we're just going to skip, and I'm like, no.
Let's do it anyway.
I'm just going to bibble and bobble with Scarlet. No, as far Sean, yeah, quiet night, not being too noisy on the roof.
Okay. I doubt it, but sure. I believe that Arcana and Zimoira had dinner at Zimoira's parents' place and kind of explained all of the stuff that had been going on with Zimoira to, Zimoira's parents, and also Amaryllis was there.
Double scarfing.
Ready.
Yeah. Quite intense, very emotional. Everyone was very supportive, like girls' bonding time.
Great, but neither of you anything that you want to do?
I think that I'm going to speak on Lily's behalf because Tom can't. I think the next day is kind of just like, after you've given to kind of unburdened your soul a little bit, and now it's just kind of like, cool, sure. And so that's kind of hanging out with the kids, helping at home. Everyone's pretending that they're a little bit okay, and then essentially playing dress-up dolls, and everyone is getting ready for the opera evening.
Amaryllis makes waffles. Just she's fully being like, and this is home life now. Oh yeah, I can't give that to Zenmora. Can you actually eat? Can Zenmora eat, or is she purely?
Is this what we do in the shadows style vampirism?
Yeah.
I don't think she's ever actually eaten anything in any meal.
People on the wiki, look back. Try and prove us wrong. I think you're right. Did she even drink when we were down? Interesting.
Not convinced she did. Cool.
Let's go there. But when designing the thing, I do think that I was designing the outfit, and I'm like, I think that you could touch Zinmoira's hair. So I think that there's the pretty braids are the thing that Billy's done helps with, because braids in the hair, and I'm like, cool.
Yes, I think the wording is very specific. It's when you touch the skin, isn't it? So just very careful braiding.
Okay. So like using a stick, like just to gently lift your hair and like brush.
Just some chopsticks, kind of weaving, like knitting. You're just knitting hair. It's braiding, just knitting. And before we go down that rabbit hole, Evie, did you have a hand up?
Yes. So once bonding has been achieved, I will go back to my loft, and I'm going to do some investigation or calibration on my little watches, because I am suspicious that someone has hacked into them and has been watching, and I would like to see if I can source this or just get some evidence of tampering. Just do a little bit of jigging if I can.
Okay. It's going to be your namesake roll.
Excellent. And I will mention again, as I mentioned every episode, I do have a plus 15 in Arcana.
But plus 9 in EV, so...
So what's 18 plus 15?
33.
33.
Blimey, I wasn't prepared for it. Okay. Sorry, that number's so high that you peer into the mind of the DM as you... you're kind of tinkering with the watches that you've built, and you can't find anything mechanically wrong with them. Like whatever caused the malfunction is even with such a high roll is still eluding you. But that does kind of maybe start to eliminate a possibility that, all right, I did everything, scientifically, mechanically, is they've been created. So that means it must be a kind of external force that's maybe caused them to malfunction.
Okay.
Or there's something that you aren't aware of in a difference between the kind of physics of this world compared to your old world. Is the other possibility.
Ooh, yeah. because I had been playing with the idea that this had backfired because magic and magical tinkering just doesn't quite match up. Okay.
Kind of like the theory that, you know, some worlds resonate with an A minor versus a B. I'm now trying to think of a keyboard, and my musical knowledge is not good enough to make this comparison. G sharp. G sharp's a thing.
G sharp is a note, yes.
Yes.
I think our realm is a C, going by like planar travel. So gate crash nonsense even, but yes.
Yeah. So there's just that slight kind of semitone of, oh, I've got to tweak all my spells for this tonal difference.
And I think that the way Arcana kind of works this out is she works by the philosophy of chaos. So he takes like a pocket full of D20s, rolls them near the things and kind of gets the numbers, gets a chalkboard, does some calculations with the result. It's like, okay, there's been a bit of a miscalibration here. Okay, I'm going to have to figure this out. Tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow. And it kind of goes back and forth on that for a while before actually getting some sleep. Because long night at the opera.
I'm gonna further wind you up here. You roll these dice a couple of times and start to realize that not once did they roll any 18s.
No 18.
And you're just like, no 18s.
Interesting. I don't know if this is important. I'm writing it down. It's in my notes forever now. I'll reinvestigate that soon.
Put on the board.
DM just winding you up for maybe. Cool. I'm gonna take. I think we've been around the table, so we can progress to the next day.
Jakar's is I went to bed. The rest of us got it. That's just it. He just had a nap.
I slept. Well, tried to.
Slept, good breakfast, got dressed, did some errands, got dressed in ball stuff. Now I'm here at the opera.
Looked up on the roof, saw two reborns just staring at you like gargoyles going, hey.
Nay.
So, just in case I haven't mentioned this yet, you may all press the long rest button. You have had a sleep overnight. Jakarth may have been broken, but still, game-wise, will count. Bit like how I'm running on fumes all the time. I haven't fallen over yet. So you would have had like a kind of agreed place just to meet up before you get to the opera. The opera is taking place at the Moonstone Mosque, which is a actually, I will give you, those of you who want to roll one, Evie, I think even Arcana would have a fair chance of getting this because while fairly fresh and new to the plane, has done plenty of research about it. So yeah, if anybody would like to roll history, you may do so.
Ooh, 24.
24.
11. I don't like this competition of entertainment. You can get everything you need at the circus.
14. Cool. I think because Giacomo and Hera, I mean, similar to Arcana, only fairly recently gained awareness, but unlike Arcana, did not go through the yellow pages reading up all of the different businesses around. Talia, what was yours?
3.
Trois.
I have spent a very long time not in the city. And by very, I mean very.
That is true, but I mean, I'm wondering if it's just that it's one of those things that it's never kind of crossed your radar because it's not really been something that a lot of people in your kind of circle would be interested in, or even if they are interested in, would know it's not necessarily in Moira's interest, so wouldn't have spoken to you about it, even though we'll get on to why. What was Jakarth's role?
I didn't roll. Jakarth's not into the opera. He doesn't like dressing up smart.
Fair enough. This is kind of more about the location, the locale, as it were. But yes, I will explain what Arcana is the most knowledgeable about this, because it is a geographically, it's a very notable thing. I think Arcana probably read about it through reading about the and here's where I should have my notes up, the spell plague. So reading about this kind of massive event that happened probably about 50 odd years ago, I think, where magic was just completely off the wall. And it had a lot of long-lasting effects. One of those being that the land upon which the Moonstone Mask was situated floated off. It became what is known as an earth moat and detached itself from the city. The patrons, who unfortunately were inside the tavern at the time, did manage to get some ropes and tether it down. However, they weren't super. What's the word? They weren't the strongest way of holding a entire chunk of earth down. So they did snap, and for a little while the tavern was floating off over the Sea of Swords until they managed to redirect it. It is now held in place by several large chains that would be enough to hold down a giant. Were they not already in use, holding down a floating bit of land. Other than that, the tavern itself, it's a large venue, about 5 stories, has its own theatre, very popular with people who want a decent view of the city, or over the port and the bay, because it's kind of on that tip of the mouth of the river. So yeah, that is what Arcana could relay to everyone, should she wish.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of like, I imagine Arcana is kind of bristling with the information, like, oh, and this, because remember the spell plague, that was a thing, and then she's kind of word vomiting a little bit because she finds it quite interesting. And probably tried to immerse herself in the history of the place she's now inhabiting as much as she can, and is just pleased to have an outlet for it.
The Opera House. I always wondered what it was.
It sounds like you've been looking at the Forgotten Realms wiki in the library.
Yeah, that's what the book was called.
What do you mean, forgotten? I mean, I forgot a lot of stuff, but I know where we are, I think.
No, me too. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Is there a canonical reason it's called the Forgotten Realms?
I've forgotten.
Nobody knows.
It's a secret to everyone.
I will not boo myself.
En route, so you've obviously kind of met up in the probably near the markets to travel down. En route, Hera, you get this kind of itchy feeling, like something's trying to get your attention, and you just clock, just as you're just kind of walking down the way. It's just a normal. It's a street, but the houses have become a bit more sporadic, so you've got some sort of slightly more green areas in places, and you spot 2 bushes. Would you like to look in the bushes?
Does anyone mind coming with me just close to these bushes? I know it's very strange.
Are the bushes talking to you?
A little bit.
Right.
I don't know. I'm a bit itchy.
No, right, no.
It's itchy. It's a strange feeling. Just in case.
No, it's fine. I've been with. I know about the dandelions and everything. So yeah,
Thank
if
you.
you need, yeah.
Jeez, I've watched this time.
So like, start adjusting the daggers at my side, being like,
Are you sure it's not allergies?
I don't have hay fever.
I mean, if she got hay fever, that's experience considering
Very
her
awkward.
general. Maybe your your guest has hay fever, or maybe you're going to eat that
Seed
bush.
is allergic to pollen. That would be hilarious.
Oh no!
I'm rolling a dice for it.
No!
Shoo! Just
On my belly
chest-
friend, no!
It's kind of akin to the feeling you get when you rub up against a stinging nettle.
Ooh.
It's that kind of itch.
Ow.
Oh.
You know, I'm gonna poke a bush. Just warning everyone, I'm poking a bush.
Is this like a private property? Are you just attacking someone's like privet hedge or something?
Oh, I'm saying it out loud, so if anything's happening.
Yeah, no, I'm just like looking at the others like, we're all here for you.
Just taking out a little kind of business card and just going, don't worry, we have a permit.
Poke a bush.
Okay. So you look in the first bush, and just kind of sticking out a bit is a very nice, I would say, mahogany-handled pair of secateurs.
Ooh,
Which
that's lovely handiwork.
you notice engraved on the handle, it does say Hera.
You can't take those. You haven't got your name. Oh no, it does have your name on
It's got
it.
my
Okay.
literally got my name on it. There.
just like all right. Okay, I guess.
Sheepishly pick it up.
Okay. This is your gardening flavored Rod of the Pact Keeper.
Ah,
So for those who are watching at home, we realized that Scarlet had fewer magic items than everybody else. So this is Grave Mother just yeeting something from across the realms to Hera.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thanks, Mum.
Thanks, ma'am.
I like you think you do that, and then your eyes turn to a second bush, and we're like, no, couldn't be, not possible.
I will poke the second bush.
As you approach the Moonstone Mask, you see a line of people who are waiting at to have their kind of bags checked, tickets, that sort of thing. You notice that the venue's now, instead of a tenuous rope bridge, which is still there for people who want to try and attempt the slightly trickier way in, there is now a portal.
Question: are we allowed guns into the theatre?
That is an interesting question.
It's always the question.
It is. You got to ask it.
We are allowed weapons literally everywhere else.
I don't think that they I don't think they take things off people. It's literally just, I don't know.
Then what are they
Formality.
checking for?
We have to show that we're carrying.
Yeah, I think it's you can't conceal carry your weapons into the opera house. You have to kind of go, yes, I have.
Does that mean that they check all bags of holding?
just sticking a hand in, like, why have you got so many tomatoes?
Yeah, there's two bouncers. One of them's a gnome, and whenever someone's got a bag of holding, they just kind of get a rope, and the gnome is.
I want that job as a gnome. I want to be that gnome. Thank you.
Got it, put it on the list for next character.
Okay.
This quest has nothing to do with me. I saw nothing.
I think largely what they're checking for actually is if people are bringing food and drink on site. Super
Food and
Mario.
drink. No. Fuck off, massive greatsword. Go for it.
Yeah.
Are you going to start a fight? That's absolutely up to you. Fill your boots, just not with liquor.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like if you're going into somewhere, you have to just say, yes, that car parked there is mine and I've registered the car. So this is my greatsword, it's registered to me, so hunky dory, cool.
So yeah, you can join the queue. It's moving fairly quickly. People are just kind of showing tickets and heading up through the portal. So you have the line in front of you. You can join the line. It occurs to me that we haven't gone through what our attire is. And given that the players, many of the players have also dressed up, I think this is I haven't. It's too hot. I'm going to ask you all just to roll a d20, and I'm going to pick you an order of the d20s.
If I roll a natural 20 now, I will not be happy.
In detail.
I did not. I rolled a 16. Still quite high, though.
I rolled a natural 20. Work.
Sorry, Tom.
I got a 17.
11.
15.
Nice. No duplications. So, Tom, would you like to describe to me what Giacomo's wearing?
Okay. For the stream and also for the podcast listeners, Giacomo, at the best of times, has his red scarf on, and he also has his long sort of red circus coat. He's taken off the circus coat, and I think he stole from Jakarth like a clean shirt, but he's also wearing the waistcoat. What he's now doing is, back when we first met Giacomo, he would have a habit of like covering the bottom of his face with his scarf, which he's done. He's also found like an operatic mask, because he's got a disdain for the opera, and he's like, yeah, of course, you've got to dress up. And then also, like, that's the problem. Circuses, never haunted, apart from all the ghosts that we had to fight, but opera's full of them. So he is wearing an operatic, like, domino mask, and he's covering the bottom of his face with his scarf. Clean shirt, waistcoat, tidy. He's dressing up, again, but it's not unakin to what he normally wears underneath his circus coat. But yeah, this is Giacomo in disguise. Also has taken a brush to his messy ginger hair. Take that, Clemvor. I'm not ashamed to show these flames. Yeah. I realised being nat 20, you'd think, oh, very fancy boy, but no, just a nice little circus lad out on the town.
Okay. Evie.
Yes. So I was thinking, what on earth would Arcana wear to the opera? She normally wears like overalls and a hair bag. It's quite greasy in terms of like mechanical oil. So I figured out, I actually own a pair of dungarees that are made out of suit material, and that is exactly what she would wear. Got a little t-shirt on underneath. It doesn't look like I'm in cosplay. I'm technically in cosplay. And there's a little front pocket just on the boob area. I don't remember what that's called, where the little watchers who are usually gathered at the boots are kind of sat there peeking out with their little opera glasses, just looking with the little pink things. That they're quite visible, but they are very cute as well.
Okay, it's just a bunch of Beanie Babies just sticking out of that front pocket. Lovely. Josh.
Jakarth is walking around with a monk shirt on to throw everyone. No, I'm joking. Jakarth is, Giacomo, assuming that Jakarth owns any shirts, is very bold. He doesn't.
Where did I get it from then? I stole it from a roof.
Just on someone's roof.
Yeah.
Jakarth is
Jakarth washing line in his fella next door.
Jakarth is wearing black slacks, a purple shirt with a black waistcoat, and a tie over it. If you were to look really, really closely at it, it's actually his normal leather armor. He's just asked his cousin Zana to put one of her artificer infusions over it to disguise it.
Absolutely.
I clock it, and game recognizes game.
Nice. Talia.
Cool. Moira's outfit is a collaborative effort between Amaryllis and Moira's sister-in-law, who is in that between space between wealthy merchant and minor nobility. Moira had nothing to do with what she was put into. It's just kind of just let it happen, just the requirements. So it's kind of like a high-collared, balloon-sleeved, kind of like silken shirt in kind of a deep red color with a matching kind of thigh-high split skirt that goes to the ankles, with also then really sensible matching silk trousers underneath. Okay. Slightly kind of the shape of the skirt kind of then allows those trousers to be a little bit baggier, so there might be some secret armor going on underneath. Okay. Again, you've got some just over the knee boots. Again, it's kind of like some gloves over there, and kind of a waistcoat corset again, which kind of then replicates the armor as well over the top. Always be sensible. An extra cape on the shoulder in case she needs more things to wrap around themselves, and a little kind of like pendant, and then pretty braided hair, courtesy of Phyllis. But they're looking quite glam, very covered up, and generally they're kind of going, okay, trying to work out where to put all of their weapons.
Are you wearing gloves, did you say?
Oh yeah, gloves.
Yeah.
Gloves.
Just no skin.
No, literally, I think from like neck to toe, it's like nothing.
You're looking like a dowager countess. It's like most inappropriate.
It's a dowager countess with a very tight corset.
Never forget how hot this countess is.
God.
Lovely. Thank you very much. And what is Hera wearing?
Hera is wearing a black dress with lots of layers around the skirt area, but it is very tatty still. It's like second or fourth hand, as are their little things they have in their hair and the jewelry, just little trinkety things. They're trying, but they're still very shy and hide often. There's attempt there, but shyly.
Are you covering your face, or are you keeping it?
It's all hood.
Oh, so you're just like hiding in the hood.
Don't hide the face, just all hood.
Yeah.
Like it normally is.
I think Giacomo's staying with you, and a little bit like if you want to take his arm, he'll walk in with you and just kind of keep an eye on you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's only polite, in good society. You're looking very nice. Look at the others. You're all looking very nice.
Your mask is very nice.
Thank you. I found it.
Nice.
Someone who's going to like a fancy masquerade ball, and Giacomo's like, there you go.
Thank you.
Can you all remind me, what is everybody's passive perceptions?
Ooh, heckins.
21, which is not the highest in this party.
What?
11.
Perception of 15.
Also 15.
22.
Yes, that's
We're
right.
not
Couple of
bad.
15.
Never
Like-
forget.
Yeah.
A very observant party and Hera. So, who's still more observant than your yeoman average person, but
Look at bushes.
Natalie spotted a couple of bushes. That's all you really need. I think it's fair to say that you're all kind of keeping an eye out for the tabaxi. I mean, none of you actually saw the tabaxi. It was just that they were very kind of obviously described to you. So you are, all of you are on the lookout, but I would say that because Arcana and Karth are generally observe everything. Very little escapes your notice. You're fairly certain that either this individual is extremely sneaky, or you just haven't seen him. And you're inclined to lean towards you don't think that they're meeting you out here. That has, I think, been probably enough time for you to reach the front. The main bodyguard, bouncers outside venues. There's no body to guard. It's a thing to bounce. Anyway, the main bouncer is an elvish gentleman, and then, as I've previously mentioned, there is also a gnome who specializes in the magical artifacts and deep diving into bags of holding. You see them kind of what's the opposite of abseiling apart from just climbing? I know that there's a word. You can see them ascending just like outside of a someone's brought a one of those Hewer's handy sacks that holds ammunition and has kind of had to spelunk into each hole individually. Yeah, it's just javelins. Goes back. Here to go.
How small is this gnome?
I hope no one brings a bag of devouring.
Oh no!
Not again.
What's it? There's that spell which is like enlarge or shrink. Had that cast, and it's like I'm down the size. I'm teeny.
Oh, just imagine if you come across that one person that's walking around with a bag of holding with 100 zombies in it.
Mm-hmm. You're just there, and it's just full of zombies. Like, hey, how you doing?
I mean, we're hoping that person doesn't go to the opera frequently. I suppose.
We'll get zombies from somewhere.
That's the person who would be going to the side from going, why did you bring this? Please don't open it. We are keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, you're allowed to bring weapons. 100 zombies is a little bit on the extreme side.
I like to imagine there was an event of the noted opera zombie riot caused by a similar situation about 100 years ago. So everyone's just kind of on the lookout. It's a very known thing that could happen. Like the Straw Hat riots.
Oh, good reference. I was going to say, but I swear to God, if you bring in a bottle of water from outside, we're going to have so much...
They're empty bottles and create water spells.
That's probably more what it is. It's not so much that there's 100 zombies being zombies. It's that, that's 2 trouser pockets each, and some of them are wearing waistcoats. I'm just going to assume none of them have got water. Yeah, just frisking all of the zombies.
I mean, me and Jakar are both wearing waistcoats, so they're going to be like, I swear to God, if you're smuggling in, like, I don't know, a handful of nuts or something, we're going to have trouble. Jakar, do you have nuts in your pocket? You've got to tell them. No,
there's so many ways that I could answer that question.
No, go on, take it to the dirty version. Go on, you try and work it out.
But I am not going to answer it the dirty way.
Good.
Does not normally carry food around with him.
Giacomo throws his trail
nuts, however. Move on.
So the elfish person who is checking people in, anything to declare?
We've got 2 zombies.
I mean, hello.
Right, a couple of reborn, that's fine. Hope you enjoy the show.
Files of blood, I have a permit.
Brilliant. Yeah, all good. Weapons. Any magical items to declare?
I've got a gun and some goggles.
Reasonable.
Gardening equipment.
Strange, but reasonable.
Armor, longbow, this amulet that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, my crossbow and the clothes I'm wearing, but...
I was told to leave the rest at home, so I did.
Oh, I mean, we'd have allowed it in, but if it was just a encumbrance thing, then that's fair enough. All right, yeah. If you just want to step through the portal one by one, you are allowed to go to the portal. It's they've kind of designed it so that it looks. If you imagine the opera house at the top being one of those very kind of Regency style, like very Baroque, ornate kind of buildings, and they've designed the portal so that it looks like you could have literally just like copy pasted one of the door frames directly down, except that there's nothing either side of it. But as you would imagine with a portal, you can see what you would see from the other side, but up high. So it's kind of a strange thing where you can see behind there is nothing. It's almost like normal Dockland, but slightly more gentrified Dockland. But through the portal, you've got a nice view of Castle Never, just like the tippy tops.
Question. D&D, as we all know, all of the classes and features are very, very combat focused, which is a downside to D&D. I am a Horizon Walker ranger who specializes in portals. With my detect portal, it says once per short rest as an action, you can detect the distance and direction to the closest planar portal within 1 mile of you. Can I tell? Do we have to go? Is this a case of we just pop through the portal and end up somewhere else, or do we have to go through another plane to get to there? Is there like a space in between sort of thing?
Yeah, is it like a lay-by? No, this appears to be a straight because the distance isn't significant. It is literally just you walk through and you're up the top. There's a brief moment where you're kind of in both places at once, but yeah.
Because we can see the opera house up there on the moat, right? So we can kind of see where it's ending up.
Yeah, they've positioned the portals so that you can't see them because some patrons complained when the gate was a bit further away. They complained that it was very disconcerting looking down on themselves through the gate. So they've kind of positioned it so that it's slightly more under where the moat is floating. But yeah, it appears to just be a single plane portal.
My concern was as we travel through, somebody just cancels it out and we end up stuck somewhere.
We get spliced. That's fine.
Yeah. Is it like Star Trek where you get teleported from one place to another place, and does that technically kill you and then reform your molecules? And
I mean, yes, canonically, but let's not worry about that.
Well, that's
Sorry,
how
Josh, I'm just writing down everything you say.
oh no.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So portals, they take people to operate usually. Do we have any more Butlin's wizards around?
For those of you who haven't watched Resurgence of the Silver Siren, there was a pair of lifts which were operated by effectively Butlin's wizards who casted large reduce on a pair of rocks to zoom you to the top and the bottom. It seems like the bouncer is the best you'll get in terms of operators of this. I don't know. Give me. I'm going to make you roll perception. I know that you could passively do it very well.
I actually have advantage on perception thanks to my watches.
Roll for Butlins.
So that's 17 plus 11 is 28.
You do spot that just a little bit. So you've kind of got red velvet curtain ropes, not curtain ropes, what am I calling them? Like queue dividers that kind of, hung between golden poles, ferrying the queue where they want to go. And also obviously making sure that nobody can get to the portal who hasn't been checked in. Just behind the portal, you can see it's just sat at a little desk. The wizard equivalent of tech support is just kind of sat there. So if the gates do go down, there's a wizard on hand who can kind of recast it.
Cool. I just love the inclusion of menial wizards. I just think it's cool.
Not everyone becomes an adventurer. Sometimes you just go into IT.
Yeah.
You've got downtime in a town. You're like, just want to run the portal system for a bit? We'll give you a gold. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, menial wizards and mundane things to do with magic. It's one of my favorite inclusions as well. So thank you for looking out for Thalabar from tech support.
Oh.
Cool. Who would like to walk through the portal?
No.
Cool. Could you release Rami 8? No, it's fine. You just
Dexterity, as you just like.
Bye.
No, that's thinking of portals.
No, you're fine. You get a little bit of, I guess, vertigo as you suddenly. For those of you who are over 30, it's the experience of standing up when you hadn't really given yourself the proper notice to do so.
What, we make dad noises?
Brace yourself against something going.
You
Is this
first
a
got it.
magical thing that happens when you hit 30?
I'm afraid so.
Like
Yeah.
literally
Oh,
the
I'm
day,
terrified.
literally the day you turn
Yeah.
On
30.
the day.
It's like you evolve. Also, I
Okay.
was going to say, Scarlett, you make dad noises at the best of times here. You're just there going,
Yeah.
You literally, day of your 30th birthday, you will sit up from bed and just get a massive headache for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to fact check this in a couple of months.
Yeah.
So if this doesn't happen, you'll get a very strongly worded email.
Same as when you turned 18 and you got a quest, you know. when
All
you-
strongly worded emails can be sent to the Roll Together email address.
Yeah, it's like that, but imagine times 50, because instead of just from here to here, you've gone 100 foot up into the air, probably more than that, 150 foot, let's say. You see there's another tech support wizard on this end who's just like, first time, welcome to the opera.
Thank you.
And would everybody else like to join Hera?
Yes.
I think it's so funny we're making the upper class feel nauseous before they go to the theatre. They're like, I shouldn't have had so much wine. You're like, well, it's my part.
Yeah, they don't like any alcohol being brought in, including that you've already drunk. Just blanket.
That sounds about right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
No pre-gaming.
Wait, is this a portal of lesser restoration?
Instantly sobers you up. It's just like, oh.
Actually, that
Oh,
would
no.
be a really good marketing point. It's like, you've been struck ill in some kind of way on your adventures. Come to the opera for the cheaper price of a ticket, rather than going to see a comic. Go through and see our show, have a night of entertainment, and get healed.
Have a drink there, and then when you're leaving, you're sober up again.
Exactly. No one will be ever the wiser, except that we can't fix your breath. Cool. Yeah, you are all transported to the top. Similar dizziness that you feel as you've done. And I imagine nobody has been to this tavern before, so yeah, this will be an experience that you all have. And yes, you are faced with this grand mansion of a building on an equally grand, bigger, because otherwise bits of the mansion would be hanging off the edge of it. Up atop this earth moat, you see this grand mansion. As previously kind of described, it's 5 stories high, so that it can accommodate the large opera hall that is one of its main features. You can see that there is a woman. She's half elven, appears to be kind of middle-aged. So wherever for a half elf middle-aged sits, that's kind of how old she is. Who is the landlady of the Moonstone Mask? And I will say, Arcana, your what was it, 33 history?
Yeah, something like that.
That'll carry. So you no, that was your Arcana. It was massive anyway, whatever it was. We'll carry. You know that this person's name is Lisette Childar. Don't try and work out if this is an anagram. This one's from the Neverwinter game. I haven't had time to tinker with it myself yet. But she seems to be stood at the doors, kind of greeting people. Everybody's obviously had their tickets checked, and so she's just welcoming people in, inviting people to I guess just avail themselves of the different facilities. Were you to kind of peer through the door, you can see that the very first thing that you come to is like the kind of drinking, dining area, which lots of gold decor. It's that kind of fake gold where they don't want to literally be the most handily stolen pub in the world. It's that kind of, it's very grandiose. We've got the money, but we're not putting it on display kind of thing, but we are. Lisa herself largely wears kind of green robes, kind of tight-fitting corsets, and with kind of sweeping pauldrons that kind of meet in the middle and just kind of give her shoulders a little bit more more presence. You can talk to her. You can walk past her, whatever you wish to do. She will greet you, obviously, and you can make idle chit-chat.
Is it just a general like hello, welcome, just sort of like?
Yeah. It's very much a kind of. She's not picking out anyone in particular in the crowd. She's just welcoming everyone to the venue.
I assume if we're blending in, the thing rich people do is they ignore the help. So if we don't want to stand out, maybe we shouldn't speak to her.
Are other people ignoring the help?
No, she's getting a lot of kind of nods and polite small talk from everybody else. She does own this place, so she's not really the help, but
that's Arcana's point of view. I don't know what she got up to in that other plane when she went to the opera.
Yes, all the opera they had in a post-apocalyptic world.
I've watched the Mr. Burns play. I know that entertainment survives the apocalypse. I mean, I think it's not a bad idea for us to just be polite and say hello and thank you. In fact, I'll do that as a walking past. Good evening. Lovely place you have here. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Moonstone Mask.
Can I just quickly ask how long the show is and if there's an interval?
The opera will be 4 hours long. There are 2 intervals.
Just like, well, Giacomo's like, a good 90-minute circus show that lets you eat as much popcorn as you like. That's entertainment. All right, 4 hours. Oh, wow, it sounds...
The second interval is an hour long, so you may avail yourself of dinner if you wish.
Tom having literally been to shows where they're like, we're taking an hour break. You're like, I need to go. Why is this so long? Oh, well, marvellous. Is the... well, I'm getting conversation with this woman. Is the food here, or do we... I assume there's a restaurant.
Yes, if you wouldn't mind just going to the maitre d', and they will be able to show you our menu.
Thank you very much.
She's kind of like very polite, but also there are people kind of starting to build up behind you.
Absolutely wasn't Giacomo's intention to be like, oh god, I'm in a conversation. Yeah, so moves on and be like, oh. Just points. Oh, that's where you get the nuts. Good. Awkwardly standing by a pillar, just like, oh, help.
Just watching you do this.
Yeah, just again, Giacomo quite charismatic, but also being like, this is just not my people.
Jakartha's being really quiet because he's really uncomfortable in this situation. So he's just sort of trying to stand as far to the back while keeping an eye out for this tabaxi person. He's not trying to engage with anybody, so he's going to be dead silent.
Sean, is this just a normal night of the opera, or is it like an open? It's not like a gala opening night. It's just a general. We're not at a party, are we?
Yeah, so it's not. We're not talking, premieres only. The tip top of the Neverwinter aristocracy here. It is a standard night. Some of the people aren't even here actually for the opera. They're just here because they're kind of regulars. So you would have noticed that I'm now imagining ticket stubs in this universe. It's not like they kind of tore your tickets or anything. They kind of checked when you said that you were there for the opera, kind of checked that you had your tickets, let you up. For those of you who did kind of go over, glance at the menu again, it's one of these kind of fancy affairs where the menu is on its own little stand. It's just a little plinth, which they've got all sorts of things, hot boar or veal pies, seafood. They have a one of their specials is a dainty fish skewers dish, made using 20 little fishes called silver flashes.
Oof.
And how much are those? Because is this a 60 quid kind of opera place? How much you pay for little fishes?
So it's in terms of prices. Just for those who who are in the real world and measure things in this manner. When Google Maps gives you the thing, and it's got like the little dollar or pound signs that say how expensive this one is. This one's a 4 on the rating scale.
Oh.
So out of a potential 5, not the absolute most you could pay, but you're going to get scalped.
Theatre prices. Got you.
What makes the fish dainty?
Size.
There's 20 of them, and the skewer's that big.
Ah,
You have a little fishy on a little dishy.
I actually have a menu here. I'm scrolling down. My note taking is really impressing me now.
Sean, you know us too well.
Yeah.
We're going to ask about the toilets and the soaps in a moment.
Half of us don't even eat in character, and we still want to know the menu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Scarlett, can you please roll me a constitution?
Scarlett, don't eat the menu.
So actually, apparently, a 3-course dinner is 10 gold pieces, which doesn't sound a lot until. So someone said to me that if you're trying to imagine, each gold piece is about 100 quid. So your 3-course dinner is £300.
Well, that's how they joke about my thing about 1 gold piece being equal a goat, which I'm like, that's £100 for a goat. That either seems too expensive or not enough. I'm not sure what it. Yeah. Go on, Scarlett. Eat the menu.
The food's not in front of me.
No, but the menu is.
Yeah.
25.
Oh.
We're gonna feed it.
I mean, you still feed it. It just wants to eat the weird things.
Eat menu. Stop it.
Look away.
Not the fancy place.
You don't need the skewers.
They're dainty.
Even the bread's like 4 gold.
We're not rich enough. Stop.
Look, we can cover it if anyone actually wants anything.
No, don't tell it that. No.
Oh, I'm just so tempted just to shout out, drinks on Kellenvor!
Is there, I kind of want to case the crowd, and it's like, one, to see if there's anyone acting slightly shifty, but also, is there anyone that I or my family might know in this audience?
Ooh, intriguing. I want that to be a slightly more special role than just perception. I think I'd like an insight roll for that one.
Okay, good. Thank you.
It's all right.
It's
Still in the same wheelhouse.
That is a natural 20 for 30.
Wow.
Blimey, nice. Okay, because it's a natural 20, who are you expecting to see?
Who am I expecting to see? So, I think that possibly some of my sister-in-law's cousins might be there. A couple of wealthier people who kind of attend to my mother's shop. Some people who kind of go in the lineage, whatever shop my mother is running at the time. People go to that shop to buy things. And a few things, maybe a couple of other officials, and then also just whoever might be like, we put our money together for this one ticket and we're very excited.
So, with your natural 20, which of these people do you see? Yes. Basically, it's not literally all of everyone that Zimora has ever clocked as being as aristocratic, but there are definitely a good handful of people, related through marriage via your sister-in-law. There's definitely some regulars at your mother's shop. Like, this is this is the sort of event where you would definitely find people, and even if it wasn't that they were going to see the opera, it's the sort of place where a lot of the aristocracy might just go for an evening dinner.
So, putting those aside, is there anyone else who's trying to act shifty or making more of a spectacle of themselves So like either trying to shiftily hide or trying to be fabulous, but I don't know them.
So, because you got a natural 20, I will add that you also see, just out of the corner of your eye, a person who is dressed in a fabulous ball gown. Massive bustle, kind of sticks out almost as wide as far as they are tall. Just very fine blue and purple fabrics, lots of kind of satin and silk, lots of inlaid embroidery. I'm running to the end of my fashion knowledge now. And also kind of one of those very tall kind of Baroque Renaissance style wigs. A person that you do not recognize seems to be complaining about the steak that she has been served up.
Cool. I'm just going to Jakarta going.
Yeah.
Politicking.
Did you say what species they were?
Human. They are human. Appeared in a fabulous ball gown, but also quite androgynous. So you wouldn't make an assumption anyway. But
that's fair. Josh did just have to look up what a bustle was. So
Oh, that's going to affect your search history now. You're going to get all sorts of adverts.
actually, no, there wasn't actually anything. There wasn't anything like ew. It was just literally a picture of what
I
they
never
are.
said
Why would there
ooh.
be anything ew about bustles?
I don't know.
just as long as you don't follow up with the word Pornhub, I think you should be fine.
I do that for every search. When are the
It's
trains?
autofill, so you
Pornhub.
can't help it.
Yeah.
I say that my search engine autofills 5e. Whatever I'm doing, just 5e. Yeah, all right.
Fish and chip shop, 5e.
Yes, so that person kind of catches your eye as someone that you don't recognize, but is kind of maybe making a bit of a scene.
Cool. Well, I don't like that anyway. For service staff, I'm just going to get Jeff. So, I know most of these fancy people in this room. I do not know her. Or him? Them. I don't know. It's pretty dress.
I don't know any of the people in this room, so you have one leg above me. Or two?
7.
Several, yes.
45 legs. Anyway, they seem to be causing a scene, so we are going to go do some politicking and also save the poor wait person.
Do we need to get involved?
I'm bored and I want to cause a fuss, and this is a room where I can do it.
Okay, I will stand beside you.
You're just good at noticing things. You don't need to.
Okay, I thought you were asking me to accompany. I'm really awkward in these situations. I apologize.
You can come if you. No, you can come. It's good to go, but then just stand and notice things.
I will stand and notice things.
Okay. So Zimoira will go off and have this altercation. Just very quickly, what's everybody else doing while you're kind of waiting for the call to go into the opera?
Standing and noticing.
Trying to stop Hera from ordering the fish. They go, we don't have the money.
Ordering the menu.
Yeah.
I would like to make a circuit of the room eavesdropping on people's conversations.
Okay, interesting.
Trying to blend into the background as much as I can.
Blending into the crowds like Assassin's Creed.
Intriguing. Can you give me? I would like another insight roll to see kind of what you pick up from the conversations.
Insight, okay. Okay. Insight. So 17 plus 6. I'm rolling a lot of 17s. I don't know what to say.
23.
No 18s.
No, just that one 18. But no, that wasn't an 18.
I took it away from you.
Yeah.
The Arcana roll. Sorry, I'm marveling at my own power. That now that we've pointed it out, you're going to roll on. So with a 23, you're kind of going around and trying to listen out for anything interesting that might kind of go about. To be honest, most of the conversations are a bit dull. A lot of people discussing the previous opera by the same composer. Some of them talking about how they'd gone to see an opera in Waterdeep and undead sharks were summoned, that sort of thing. Boring conversations in this world. But a couple of things do kind of pique your interest as being a little bit more unusual. A couple of people seem to be discussing hearing some scrabbling on the second floor. They couldn't kind of put their fingers on it. Then someone else said, "What were you doing on the second floor in the middle of the day?" And they kind of quickly diverted the conversation. And being as you know everything about this building, you would know that that's where the rooms are, and they rent the room by the hour.
Oh, this is very Parisian opera. Oh dear. Oh,
But
very dear.
The scrabbling on the outside of the windows was certainly an interesting point to have picked up. But unfortunately, they then moved the conversation on very, very quickly after that. A couple of other people saying, talking about some of the strange kind of goings on. A couple of them have picked up on the strange long ship in the harbour. Unfortunately, very few people actually have any insight into it. A lot of them are kind of making weird guesses about the origin of the ship, and most of them entirely missing that it's quite obviously a Thayan ship, those of you who know.
I'm going to assume that the scrabbling at the window, instead of just being someone's kink, was our tabaxi friend going up to the roof, where maybe they were crouched on the roof edge and brooding out, looking at the city at some point.
I'm Catman. Perchance.
I was laughing quite a lot when you first said scrambling, because I was just picturing that Giacomo and Hera went on a little journey in the night and was playing Scrabble all over the city.
It makes it more fun. It's just like
Secret episode.
Scrabbling on the roof.
It's great.
Right,
We
that
shout a
musical.
back friend who's just like, right, we'll come back to you in the morning, don't worry. Just,
You named so many NPCs.
yeah.
Don't give away my secrets.
Very rude.
Right, Zimoira. This person is complaining about their steak. It seems like they wanted it rare, but are now complaining that it has hardly been cooked.
Oh boy.
I hate them. I'm not here, but I hate them.
I do too.
I hate them so much. Bad person.
Listen to me. This is not a proper way. You expect me to pay for food that hasn't even been prepared? What are your chefs doing?
Hello, can I help you?
Are you the owner of this establishment? You certainly are not. We'll literally just turn their back.
You pay attention to me and you leave that pauper wait staff alone.
Could you give me an intimidation roll?
Bitch.
Like the Archbishop of Canterbury coming to yell at you.
Can you-
Oh good, the clergy are here.
The clergy are here.
Can Zimoira have advantage for the Talia saying bitch?
I mean, I enjoyed that, but I think I was toying with advantage anyway because you would be a fairly imposing figure anyway.
Paula's very high.
Have advantage.
Yay. Okay, that is a 19.
19. I guess you kind of you've cut such an imposing figure that she goes to turn, but is almost just frozen in the spot, and you can see that under their dress they kind of do a very awkward pivot. The dresses kind of disguise that for most people, but you do kind of catch that at the corner of your eye that this was not a comfortable pause.
So I overheard you asking for it to be rare. Have you read a dictionary? Do you know what the word rare means?
Of course I do, my dear.
No, you do not, otherwise you would not be complaining. This is a very...
These diamonds are some of the rarest in the world.
I know of every other wealthy person here. I know the echelons. You are not someone I do not know. If you were someone who came in new to the city, I would be aware of you. Be a good person and shut the fuck up and eat food.
I suppose that we will just have to try this al dente meal.
Good.
She does kind of they do very awkwardly sit down in the booth. You catch a glance out of the corner of your eye. They do seem to be with a group of similarly dressed people, who a couple of them, like behind fans, do smirk appreciatively in your direction.
And you will be paying the full cost and an extra tip to that poor person who has had to cope with you. If you're as fancy as you say, you can afford it.
Consider them told.
Oh. And then just goes going, anything interesting you notice about them or their group? So saying to Jackass as we leave.
What, you about to call me Jackass?
Hey, Jackass, do you see anything good?
Hang on, Moira. Don't bring that fury over here. You've already set that woman off on one. Whoa, calm down. But yes, did I notice anything on any of those people, as they were people that Moira did not know?
Yeah.
Or anything else in the room?
I will ask your choice of insight or perception.
I will go with perception, please.
Yep, no worries.
Oh, that's an 18. Not natural 18, though. Just an 18.
Ooh, risky.
But yeah, there's nothing wrong with non-natural 18s.
Oh, I thought we were seeing who was going to roll the first natural 18.
Well,
Oh,
clock's
it
ticking.
was a natural 18?
No, it wasn't. It was 6 plus 12.
Natural 18s don't exist.
Oh, okay.
No. I don't know why I've banned this number. This episode was not brought to you by Aiden.
Sean likes going to see films and just like, at 18, impossible. I'm 15, I'm old enough to see it. Yeah, it's been waiting. Yeah.
NC-17.
Yeah.
So, with your 18, you scan around the room. You are largely kind of keeping an eye to see whether there was any kind of threat, I guess, with Zimoira confronting this wealthy person. But you can see that they have very decisively kind of dealt with that. The group at the table don't appear to be the sort who would bring their own weapons. It appears like they would probably be more moneyed and don't necessarily expect people to talk to them like that. Which, judging by the group of friends' reaction, actually works against them in a lot of cases because their friend is an arsehole. But that's by the by. You kind of you clock them. They're not really. They don't really catch your interest as people of interest. Dumb way of phrasing that, but they're not interesting. Did I mention that they weren't interesting? Yeah.
They're not interesting.
No, not in the slightest.
Go tell them that's immoral. That'll make them like you. The rest of you are nothing. Blanks. You don't even register, in my opinion.
Yes, they are. Of all things that might pique you, they do not pique. They're unpiqued. I'm going to stop trying to flog this dead horse.
With water pick.
Out of the corner of your eye, you do catch a just a flicker of a figure darting behind a curtain, just as a call goes out. Seats, please take your seats in the theatre.
I'll lean into Moira just so I'm not like projecting it out to everybody else to hear. I'll just be like, there was a figure that just went behind the curtain over there just as the call went out.
Interesting. We'll go to see what the others have been noticing in their own circuits.
Yes, boss.
The person who called you all through was a Leonin wearing a very fine emerald green with kind of gold filigree waistcoat and kind of loose armed kind of blouse, stood with their arms tucked behind their back, and they kind of oversee people having their tickets actually checked and directed to whichever the correct door is to enter the auditorium.
Where are we going, Sean? Are we in the stalls, the gods? Where do we have a box?
Oh, would Arcana have already known this based on knowledge of the theatre and looking at the tickets?
Tell us about the theatre fires, Arcana.
I'm going to ask you for another history roll because this is possibly a little bit more outside where you would have read, because it's the inside of the theatre.
So that is a 19.
Still pretty well versed. You got a layout of the theatre as well. You can pinpoint exactly where your seats are. You don't even go to the. Sometimes you go to the person. They're like, oh yeah, it would have been quicker if you'd gone that way. You know exactly even which person to go to get to the right bit. You are in the grand circle.
Ooh.
So very, very good view, not obscured anything, very decent seats. Not your own private box, unfortunately, but
next time.
Your seats are in a kind of in a little huddle, so you're not all in one row. You've kind of been put 2 and then 3. By the time you probably get there, because you weren't queuing ready and waiting straight away, so there were a few people already kind of waiting to get in, and this was also kind of not a final call, but like, there were people already in, so you get in and there's a fair few people already occupying a lot of the row. You have to kind of do that awkward, people stand up and you shuffle past and you notice that all of the seats around your 5 seats are occupied with a variety of humans, elves, dwarves, not just those 3, obviously. I'm just listing the 3 and then etc. A Genasi with a mohawk. It's a water Genasi though, it's just kind of a little dribble, like a waterfall going down the head. Universe Bernard, who's the water Genasi.
Jazz musician, just like.
Oh no, I've got my next character. But you look around and you do notice that none of them are tabaxi.
Who's sitting in the 2 and who's sitting in the 3?
I'm in the 3. I would like to be between 2 other people and who know they're not to touch me, and then everybody else.
Makes sense.
Reasonable.
So it's a bit of a different question. Is there another level of audience above us, or is it tech up there?
There is another circle above you of audience. Yeah. I'm loving the idea of tech though. Like these poor wizards who have just been hired. I just do dancing lights. Just got to keep Theodora lit.
I imagine they've got like 7 levels of wizard. They're quite accomplished, and then 1 of bard, and it drove them to this life.
I also like to think old Georgie back in Waterdeep is like, you don't need all that. What you need is good traditional carpentry. That's the best special effect.
With the knitting and then the mention of gold filigree on the theatre, I was getting flashbacks to Windfall.
Go watch on YouTube, folks. They're classic episodes. There's probably going to get proper ice cream here. No ice cream with meat in it.
No.
I'm happy to sit on one side of Zen Moira to be a block to stop people.
Right, I'll sit on the other.
Cool. Actually, that makes sense. That Hera, you've got things to tell Jakar about our nighttime adventures and all the windows we peered in. Not creepy, unless you make it so.
I was thinking about climbing. I was going to see what the security was like on the inside, go to one of the walls, and then scale it to the ceiling so I could get a view of everything.
So all about scaling with Jakarth.
Yes, it's all about the scaling.
Anyway, okay. So you want to... you've got a passive perception of ridiculous +2. So let's go... Passive perception. You look around. There are staff kind of dotted around in the kind of very recognizable green that the Moonstone mask staff wear. Most of them look more like ushers, kind of helping people find their seats, and the kind of staff who would be serving interval ice cream, for example. Probably interval vol-au-vents in this fancy joint. Intervents. But there are a couple of them that do look a little bit more hench than the rest. So are probably there as a dual role of, we're going to stop people getting up to anything that we don't necessarily approve of, such as bringing in alcohol. And climbing the walls.
I'll sit with Hera then.
Okay. I mean, you feel free to do it, but you're going to get noticed.
Yeah. If I'm going to get noticed, if I feel that I'm going to get noticed, I won't do it.
Yeah, you do feel like that there's enough people around. You can kind of merge with the crowd, but less so if you're on the ceiling. Cool. I would like everybody to give me just a generic insight roll.
I swear I've rolled so many 17s today. So many. This dice is rigged.
It's because I took your 18s away.
It's 23. No, there hasn't been a repeat of the 18.
14. I didn't roll well.
Okay. 17, 18.
I used my knowledge from past life to observe, so I've got 15.
Cool.
I rolled. I rolled a 10 for a 17.
Okay. Scott.
8.
8. Okay. I think those of you who rolled below, probably about 12, you are struck by the sheer grandiose spectacle of the space. Again, they've got a very kind of green gold sort of theme going on. The seats are very deep green, almost on the kind of black side of the shade, but with a very rich greenness to them. And yeah, just this kind of painted gold everywhere. Every surface that can be has been carved or sculpted to such a degree that it's just so it's another world, and you're not really kind of you're not sure where to look. let alone who to look at. Those of you who got between the sort of 12 and then up to an 18, you look around you and you're kind of trying to pick out the people who are around you to see if any of them might be a kind of disguised tabaxi, given the kind of nature of this. So you're kind of peering at people as subtly as you can to try and work out whether, is this a disguised self? Is this some sort of makeup? You can't see anybody at this point. Now remind me, did anybody get over an 18?
Yep.
You did, I thought so. Arcana. You're fairly confident that no one around you has magically disguised themselves, or even, in fact, mundanely disguised themselves. But what you do clock as you're looking around is the Leonin door person has sidled down your row and whispers in the ear of the woman who is sat next to Hera, and you don't quite catch what is whispered, but she kind of makes a surprise little kind of noise in the back of her throat, and quickly gets up and excuses herself to leave. And at the same time, someone sidling in from the other side comes and plonks themselves down. Hello. You're probably wondering why I invited you all here.
No.
But that is where we are going to take our break.
Oh, no. Shut up. The show is starting. Turn your phones off.
Well, yes, it is time for our break. We will be taking 5-10 minutes, so please hydrate, get yourself something to eat, perhaps an interval ice cream. However, please take away with you a little, not a riddle, a little 9-letter puzzle. Please could you note down these letters: A, C, I, N, P, R, T. So once more for those at the back: AAC, IIN, PRT. There is at least one 9-letter word in there, but please let me know, and there will be prizes for those of you who can work out at least one 9-letter word, or anything above 4. But we will see you after the break. Welcome back. Right, I hope you're all hydrated. You've got your interval ice creams, or a hot dog ice cream. One of those options. Before we get into the episode, let us just quickly solve the 9-letter word that we had sent out. Talia, I know that you have got the 9-letter word, but before that, I will ask for any shorter words people got.
I got one, which is a bit of a cheat, which was 2, which was a cantrip, which works in, but I also got captain.
Mm-hmm.
So you also got captain.
There might be a military person here.
Okay. I mean, I'm perfectly happy with a cantrip. I think that's fine. So, Evie, and you said that you got captain.
I got captain.
Evie, you can have a D6. Tom, for your 8, you can get a D8.
Thank you, kindly.
Josh, did you say that you had any?
I didn't get a cantrip because I was looking for one word. I got cantrip.
You can certainly have a D6 at least, because I know you wanted to see. Talia, you were the first person to message me with the full 9-letter word that I started with anyway. What did you get?
So my process was getting through cantrip and captain. Then I gave myself Patrick, but there's no K, but I'm like, but it was funny. Yeah. Then I went to Patria, and then patrician.
Oh.
That's what I got.
Patrician.
And I was like, how?
Yes.
Why? How was that involved?
We're being very discreet
I kind of
about
assumed
it.
that we'd find out in the second half, because it's the letters we used.
I mean, sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Cool. So Josh and Talia, you can both have the coveted D10. And yeah. So before the break, our team got suited and booted and or dressed and pressed.
Yeah. We took the iron to ourselves. It was very dramatic.
Sure, yeah. And then someone pointed out that you normally do that before putting the clothes on.
I've definitely ironed while I am in the outfit. It's not well.
How many degrees of burns did you get, Talia?
I got a
You
small
put yogurt
bump
on
on my
them.
leg while ironing my skirt, but on the other hand, I didn't have to take off the skirt and iron it, so.
Yes.
I've done that in military uniform before. That's not fun.
I then went and bought a steamer to make it easy to reach.
Yes,
Anyway.
because jetting the hot... Anyway.
Night at the opera.
You got dressed up. You are at the opera. You managed to get yourselves checked in and checked out what you were all wearing. You went through the portal to get to the top of the earth moat that the opera house is situated on. The Mirrorstone Mask, a very coveted location in Neverwinter. You went in. You were looking around for the tabaxi person who had sent you these 5 tickets, and you couldn't find them. You heard some rumors that you thought possibly were. You managed to put a person in their place who had been causing a stink about undercooked meal, and then you were seated in the auditorium in the circle looking down towards the stage. Very nice view in a little block of 5. And again, you're kind of keeping an eye out. Finally, the maitre d' did come over and whispered a message to the woman who had been sat next to Hera. And at the same time, someone came down the row and then plonked themselves in her seat as soon as she had vacated it. Those of you who are looking out, who are following, would notice that this person was wearing a very kind of that we're going full Puss in Boots here, Legend of Zorro style, like Three Musketeers, all of those kind of influences in there, in the this kind of very full blouse but with a cape, a mask with some very ornate designs on it that potentially you could use to identify them should you need to, and you knew what all of the masks looked like. But this person is a ginger tabaxi. They basically look like a ginger cat in a mask. And they sit down. So you have arrived. I was a little bit surprised that you had invited a friend along. For you have used my ticket.
Sorry.
Retroactive
gods, but
I thought that this was implicit in the note, but you're 4 of you, and you gave. Nice to meet you, though.
Hi, I'm sorry.
That is okay. I do not need that much time to talk to you. You do notice that the lights kind of dim and the opera starts, and a couple of people around you are like, shh. I must talk very quietly now. The opera, for those of you who are interested, is on another tab.
It's a classic on another tab.
Yeah, it's on another tab.
Yeah.
It's called The Fall of Eristay. Actually, you know what? Give me some history rolls. Art history rolls.
It's on another tab. Why do I have so many tabs open?
This again.
Why, oh me. That I deserve that after singing that.
Yes, you do.
It's a 4, which I think makes sense as an amnesiac and also not liking the opera.
That's fair.
It's a 7.
You're
Makes
more
sense.
educated and you're from another world. Just
Like, I've read about the theatre, but there isn't, I couldn't have listened to all of the operas that exist in this world yet.
That would be quite funny if you did, where you just got it on tape and you're like, interesting.
Tally, what'd you get?
3. Moira's really not interested in the opera. Just,
Reasonable.
it's not fair. I am.
Scarlet.
No, I didn't even roll. No, I like being in gardens.
Fair enough. Josh.
3. Magic
Wow.
number.
Okay, I want information about this opera. I'm using my inspiration die.
Yes, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Okay, that's a 6. So that's a 7 plus a 6 is
13.
13?
I tell you what, have my D8. Let's learn everything about this opera.
Yes.
You don't have to burn all of your inspirations.
No, we'd want to learn about who wrote it when it was performed.
How much do I, the human player, get to add to my role for myself?
These are all good questions, and certainly ones I probably have written down in another notepad. Okay. What was your final figure, Evie?
So with the extra D8, like, by the way, both inspiration die, I rolled the max on the inspiration dies. So with that, it is a 21.
21. Okay. Wisely burned, maybe. It's called The Fall of Eriste. It is a tale of a... the overarching story is a tale of a village that are attacked by a white dragon, and at the same time they haven't been kind of paying tithes to the storm god, and barbarians who are in the sway of the storm god are threatening to attack the town until a group of wily adventurers come and stop it from happening. Tis the general thing. As the kind of actors start walking on and the opera starts in earnest, you can see that it opens up to villagers paying tribute to a Goliath chieftain, who from the costumes look to be kind of barbarians. Lots of kind of thunderbolt imagery in their attirement.
Is it in common?
They are.
Sorry. Is it in common?
That is a good question. No, it's in giant.
Oh, like actually going to the opera, you're like, oh, I've got no. Like, I went to see the Magic Flute once during a heat wave, and I was like, I'm tripping. I've got no idea what's going on. But that Birdman is very passionate. Yeah. Sorry. Please tell us more about. Yeah.
Does anyone speak giant?
Does it have anything in common with Gith?
I don't think so.
How did you come across the GIF?
I'm from another planet. What can I say?
The GIF
Made
get
sense
everywhere.
at the time when I took an elective.
Have you taken Minotaur?
What? This is my first character I've not taken Minotaur in. Why have I not taken Minotaur?
Folks, this is what happens when you know your friends.
One of these days it will come in handy.
Yeah.
I have forgotten, but that one of the things that I said I was going to do was to cast a spell so that we all were able to understand the show.
You did say that in the last session. That is fine. I remember you doing that. This is tongues, isn't it?
Yes.
Sorry, Evie.
Sorry, no, I was misreading pauses. I was just going to say it's a shame you can't cast Understand Culture.
Well, we all know about the fall of this bridge, do we?
So
I can understand. It's a person I touch. I can understand the show.
Okay.
And can you touch us?
So I can understand it. I'm also not casting that spell a billion times.
That's very funny that you just touch yourself and you're like, culture.
It's really moving wordplay.
It does say that you could touch any creature, but yeah, why would you pick someone other than yourself when you've been given 3 tickets? No, that sound came up way wrong. No.
Filth in my opera house.
I just want to go touch people and think about giants.
I want my opera house.
What have we devolved into?
Oh,
I
God.
don't know. You started it, and that's collective you.
So yes,
Anyway,
the
plot.
opera will kind of go on, and you will understand the story and could whisper it to people as it goes on. So yes, you do kind of follow this as this the village of Eristay is paying tribute to to their barbarian neighbors, and then in the next scene, they encounter some settlers who, with their industry, build upon the sacred lands of the barbarians and force this tribe to forsake their former home, becoming more nomadic. They take to the mountains where life is harder and the dangers more present in the wilderness. That is all, however, in the opera. The tabaxi whispering to you is, so I believe that you are being investigating into this strange longboard, yes?
Yeah. No, I mean, do we do this here? Should we go somewhere else? Because there are a lot of people shushing us at the moment.
Feels a little bit rude.
Wait till the interval. They're at a good bit.
Oh, are you wanting to watch the show? Because
No, just I tell you what, just you're sitting next to Hera, right? Just like it's like, just tell Hera. She'll tell the rest of us. Just whisper to her.
oh, okay.
Hi.
Part of me that wants to metagame so hard. I won't.
I'm also leaning into Zenmoy and going, what's happening now?
This is where the female lead has gone and just kind of met the leader, like the captain of the barbarians, and they're having a little romantic aria about, because they don't recognize who each other are, about how they want to kind of find each other interesting, but they don't know that they're on opposite sides.
Oh, classic art.
I know. Why have I never been into opera before?
I'm changing my mind.
So much drama.
Just the three of us are like weirdly invested in this now.
And you just look to Jakarth and there's tears pouring down his face. I'm not crying, you're crying.
You've just gotten to the bit where the chieftain is out hunting with his children when they discover a mighty white dragon whose breath kills all those unfortunate enough to feel its touch. The chieftain barely escapes with his life, but escapes having been unable to protect his own offspring.
How do they
The
do the
puppetry
dragon?
illusion,
Yeah.
or do they have an actual dragon?
The dragon is made up of several chorus members who, one of them's playing the head, a couple of them are the wings, there's some others who are kind of operating the feet. It all seems to be kind of papercraft.
Ooh, very, very swish.
Those of you with a ridiculously high perception do hear one of the wizards up in the box muttering that, I could have done that better.
They'll have their moment.
Just blubbering.
It would have only been 5 foot big, but
Perspective.
That was the third lead, so the one that kind of took the most time dying. That's because you've seen them before. That was the third lead, and so it's a dramatic moment of poignancy because their dad couldn't save them.
Now they're doing a ballet. Yeah, no, it's great. Literally pick me up. Oh, we're going this way. Yeah. Sorry, Sean, I know you want plot, but we're just going to be talking about every time you're like, how do they do that? What they're doing? How good's the singing? Is it still giant?
I simultaneously want to describe the actual plot that everybody else is interested in and the subplot of the opera that we're actually strangely more invested in. Got it.
I really feel our audience will also be like, no, actually, no, look, sign up to the Patreon. Maybe we'll get Sean to just do a review in character, being like, oh, so good. Anyway, please tell the plot.
So Scarlet, under their breath, Ninetails is just so these pillars that are in you know about these in the Neverwinter Woods, yes?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I mean, yes.
There are monuments springing up in other towns.
Oh no. How many?
9. Give me a history check very quickly.
Okay.
Bravo! Bravo!
Skipping back to the opera, the chieftain is wandering in the forest and encounters a huge boar. Upon following it, discovers an ancient site constructed of ancient stones in a spiral, and waiting at the top of the site, the boar turns into a bolt of lightning, which streaks up towards the sky in a reverse mimicry of a true storm.
Okay, I got 19 because I used knowledge from a past life.
Nice. Okay. So you remember that you couldn't really tell when you first discovered the obelisks in Neverwinter Wood, but upon the completion of the Dread Ring and all of the life being sucked out of the area, you did count 9 obelisks around. It occurs to me that I think we believe that there are 9, although not all of them are on land.
What are they circling? What are they circling?
This is probably what actually I was hoping to show you instead of just talking. But I can tell you that there is a monument that has been built in Tribor. Also one near Amphale. It would appear that Neverwinter Woods, they are expanding. And I believe that they are hiding one somewhere in Neverwinter.
Oh, no. It's very bad.
Hera is feeling visibly like.
I think I know Hera pretty well. That when I hear the noise and the moving, I'm like, are we the 3 of us behind the other 3? Are we?
Yes, so it's literally kind of 3 and then 2.
Jack Webster leans in. What's up?
Bad things. Bad things.
Okay.
Obelisks. 9 of them. Bad rings. Rings.
Glance to Ninetales. Is it emergency? Do we need to go?
I do not know how long it takes for these things to set up. Certainly, some of them are, we do not think, in place yet.
Also reach into a pocket and just hand a handkerchief to Jakov. There, old man. Very quietly blowing his nose.
The chieftain has placed his hand on a central stone, a blackened monolith streaked with veins of obsidian from the repeated lightning strikes. The chieftain invokes the blessings of the Lord of Storms, who grants him the power to ensure his people are oppressed no more, but have the power to recover the lands that were once theirs alone.
Has that just got quite loud with all the thunder and the lightning? And
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of timber, like a boom, 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 boom.
I think I'll try and flag the other 2 down and be like, go.
He's become a Storm King. And that's his thunder.
We should go. So we'll get another ticket. If the world doesn't explode, we'll come back.
How long is the show on for?
Hours.
Give me a history roll.
Okay. So 11 plus 5 is 16.
16. It's about midway through its run. It's running for the whole month. So
Okay, we'll come back.
you've got a couple of weeks.
We could have met anywhere else. You didn't have to pay a lot of money for tickets at the opera and then introduce half of us to the opera and get us invested, but we can't talk here. This seems very poorly planned out.
It's so good.
I wanted it to be distracting, but in case people listened in.
I have places. I have quiet rooms.
Arcana, you have a very high perception. You do notice Ninetales very very obviously kind of just glance down at the watchers.
I kind of do take them by the scruff, and I just say into their ear, "And you were going to tell me exactly how you hacked into my watchers? Why? What? My watchers? What is my
You're in my watchers.
To do in watch.
You are giving me a very, very big credit here. This is not a power that I would have.
You're still going to give me some details."
Okay, we need
Well,
Sorry, excuse me.
Come on,
Sorry.
murder. Big murders, we have to leave.
I use a bonus action to disengage. Surprisingly, just sliding over.
there's a few kind of. Oh, I say.
terribly sorry, old chap. Had too much of the fish, you know.
18.
I'm also putting my hands out to take anyone's bags because I'm just.
What was 18? For?
I'm rolling an 18 for intimidation. Just move.
Yeah, a few people do kind of sit slightly side saddle on their seats so that you can go, and a couple of people manage to hop up in time.
Can I go as creepy as possible to creep them out enough? Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, roll me intimidation.
Well, that's going on. I'm going to matrix dodge people's legs.
I was going to say, everyone decide how they get out. Giacomo, very quickly, very elegantly, terrifying, matrix dodge. Giacomo,
9.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry.
You kind of tread on someone's toes. They're like, ow!
I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Ow. Just me in pain.
Just picturing Hera and Giacomo go out like the arg thing.
Oh, I'm like a ballerina. I'm on like my tiptoes going.
Error isn't really not, no.
Okay. You leave just as the chieftain is uniting tribes of barbarians from across the land to reclaim their sacred home. But you don't see any more of the opera because you leave.
It's so beautiful.
We're coming back, Jakov. If the city doesn't fall into the sea or something, there'll be other. Look, we can point at a poster. It's like, look, you could get membership for a year if you wanted.
I think I might have
Church
to.
of Kellenvor's going to pay for the new tickets.
Exactly. And the tote bags. Look.
You can't pay for everything.
And the dainty fish.
I think we're all just pointing at different posters. Like, yeah.
I just want to see the play. I don't care about any of that stuff.
But there's other plays, other great classics.
I know, there's so many I can watch. I might have to get the membership.
Yeah. The joys of live theatre. Live theatre, folks. It's a dying art and needs to be supported. Yeah.
Honey, nephew, off my lap, please. Stop
Sorry, Zemmoira, I'll just move on. I was sort of like leaning going, live theatre.
Anyway, now that I'm not distracted by that, what do you know? Do you know what their target might be?
Well, this is the worrying thing. Kind of gets out. So you've kind of exited the auditorium. It's a lot less busy out in the kind of restaurant area, so you find a box quite easily. We'll lay out a map of Faerun and starts pointing at the locations that they had mentioned. So points at Neverwinter, follows it around in an arc to Neverwinter Wood, follows it around in an arc to Tribor, then points at a location in the middle of some of the Star Hill Mountains, traces along to somewhere on the banks of the Desserin River, just outside of Amphale, and then points at Leylon, just outside the bay, and then traces a couple more locations in the Sea of Swords to complete a circle that encompasses an area a good 100 times larger than that destroyed in Neverwinter Woods.
I'm going to take out the photo of the map
Yeah.
that we took from the Thayan ship and see if there's any overlap there.
Yes, you've got your your folder that you'd taken from that with some of the locations. It was more kind of nautical coordinates, and you only had the sea-based ones, but they do match up. So just outside of Leylon, and a couple more, again, just to complete this circle.
What
says that it was bang smack in the center of Neverwinter. Is it? Would the whole of Neverwinter be in that circle, or just a section of it?
So the Neverwinter one is just outside it, so that Neverwinter falls within the circle.
Right, so it'll be the whole of Neverwinter. Okay.
What's in the center of the big circle? I know it's going to cover everything, but what's?
You know what? It's because I've got the small version of the map. It's not just outside of Leylon. Leylon's actually more or less in the center. But you kind of look, and there's a number of towns. Fandalin, Tribor itself seems to be in there. A couple of sort of definitely settled areas fall within this zone.
But the Dead Man Marsh is in there because Josh has recently read one of the campaign books and has that location in his brain.
Oh, you now care. These places you've read about, but they're okay, right?
I could just send you the map that I'm reading off of.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mirror of Dead Men is in there as well.
Oh, but
That's
Thomas
the one, the Mirror of Dead
Icewind Dale
Men.
is safe.
Murder Lane in Elvish.
Arcana.
Yep.
I don't know. Is this all marked on the map, or is he just pointing to the locations, or are they the Nine Tails just pointing to the locations, or is they marked on their map?
They were pre-marked on the map, so you can quite easily follow that this is a almost perfect circle with 9 points equally laid out.
Arcana, are you able to do your snappy thing with this one as well?
Oh yeah, sure. I take out a new pane of glass and just the flash. It's on the glass.
Mm-hmm. Modern marvels.
Science.
It's probably safe to assume that they've, with the ship in the bay, unless we were to find out how long it's been there, it's probably safe to assume that they've already done the sea-based ones. We would just need to find out where the land ones are coming from.
Imagining it that there was something hidden in the castle, or did we just jump to a conclusion there?
I think that was jumping to a conclusion.
We also rolled 20s as we all just looked at an empty castle and were like, architecture.
Yeah, you did think that possibly in the castle, but while it would be large enough, to get a complete obelisk in there, you would need to basically just gut the entire thing, which someone probably would have noticed.
Tribor is quite far inland, isn't it?
Reasonably far in.
Is it the most inland point on the? Is that obelisk the most inland obelisk?
It's between that one and the one in the Star Hills.
Okay. Star Hills is not near. Star Hills is where the Gnarlwoods is, isn't it? It's my God, I don't know why I know all of this information. Because I'm thinking of Frostmaiden, where there's a prison in Frostmaiden, and also the entrance to the underground dwarven city that's called Gauntlet something or other.
Gauntlgrim.
That's the one. So it's not there.
No, Gauntlgrim was getting all the lore now. It was under
Sorry, everyone.
Mount Hotinau, which is in Neverwinter Woods.
Okay.
I believe.
Right, yeah. So yeah, the Star Mountains is that part, because the other side of it is the Gnarlwood, where old Gnarlbone lives. Or lived, depending on when we're set and if that adventure's been played through or not. Right, okay. So, and it's not very easy to access those locations from the sea, is it? The more inland ones.
There's certainly some that you think. So, like the Desserin River could have been used for the one nearest to Amphail and the one in the Star Hills. And then the one in Tribor could potentially have been taken up the Desserin, but then a bit of a detour overland.
Oh, if they just spread out a little bit more, they would have got Waterdeep as well.
I mean, don't. Please
It's
don't
not a
give
good
ideas.
thing. Give
Yeah,
the
don't give
notes.
the Red Wizards ideas. I mean, Waterdeep's been through enough already. Okay, so 9 points. Possibly big.
So I'm going to do something I've not done yet, and I'm going to dismiss my watches for an hour, and they will just kind of power down temporarily. I can only do it once a day.
Just shut down in your pocket.
Yeah, they just kind of whoop a little bit.
Oh.
I'm going to go to the tabaxi and say, okay, what's your name first of all?
I'm Nine Tails.
Nine-
You may have
Nine
heard of me.
No.
9 tails, nine obelisks.
Oh,
This is
yes.
not me.
I'm going to, I know it's
I
wrong.
mean-
I'm inside checking anyway.
You would
Of
tell
course.
us if it was, wouldn't you?
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 21. Coincidence?
Coincidence.
Yeah,
Just
okay, cool.
someone's obsessed with the number 9, perhaps.
Wait, 9, 18. Oh my god!
It all adds up.
You're like, great, you worked that out.
Wait.
What does that what does that mean? Not 9s. 6s. Yes. Plot.
9 tails. Few questions. First of all, how do you get this information? From whence did it come? How did you know to contact us? And who else might have been looking through my watches? How did you access them?
I have eyes everywhere.
Please don't speak in enigmas. I just want some answers, mate.
I'm sorry, enigmas is all I have to offer. It's kind of the look, you know.
Alright, yeah.
Well, if there's like potentially a giant death circle on the line, don't you think you should actually like tell us, like, just tell me how you've been spying on us through my little watches, because I can only dismiss them once a day. If other people can get in, I need to know.
I was telling the truth when I said that this was not me. The magics is not that I do not do.
So who did it?
Not you got a high enough insight. You can tell that they're telling the truth. They did not. They are not the one who's been watching you, and you don't get the feeling that any of their contacts that they're refusing to name can do it either. So I say, as I look up what level spell scrying is. Yeah, way too high for them.
Oh, believe in yourself, Nine Tails. Come on.
So some unknown person has been scrying on me. You don't know who they are, but they gave you information somewhere down the line, which means that the information that we have and that we have here today could be going out to any number of people.
Oh, I did not say that I did not know who it was doing it. I just said that they're not the ones who gave me, put me onto your tail.
You're making it very hard for us to trust you.
Okay.
That is reasonable.
Fair enough.
You have
Okay.
been very loud. You are not subtle folk.
Look at.
Going to
Yeah.
wring his neck.
Don't.
Oh, but I'm going to wring their neck unless they speak in full, actual, practical sentences. This is not.
I actually have a question for Hera.
Yeah.
Trying to calm down Zimora in the background. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
Have a sausage roll ice cream, it's fine.
Oh, lovely. Hera, when you came across the obelisks in the Neverwinter Woods,
Yeah.
did you ever discover how they got there?
Did I? Scarlet
I'm
can't
not going to
remember.
ask you to roll because no, you did not.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think they were already there when you.
No. No, I didn't.
Okay. I'm just trying to.
Ooh,
I mean-
actually, I will allow a history roll to see if there might be something that could be pertinent that you might work out.
Oh, that's a 20. It's not natural, though.
Nice.
Hey.
You do recall that there were a lot of zombies kind of clustered around the obelisks, and protagonist Jones, who you had been traveling with, had been hired by a strange individual wearing lots of red with bald head, who had complained that their assistants had been hampered from doing their research in the woods.
That is.
Okay, so from this map that you've provided us with, or that you're showing to us, and we now have an image of, can you tell us which ones that you know of are there? Like which obelisks are erect?
I mean,
I'm not-
active was a better word, but
Active, I mean, yeah, I could.
Risen?
As far as I am aware, all of the ones that are sea-based are in place. And I believe that the ones that are in other locations that are less traveled are in place. My sources tell me that the governors of Tribor are currently wondering what to do with a very generous donation of a 150-foot statue of Lero Silverhand.
oh,
And do you know what these obelisks or statues, as the case may be, will do once they are all in place and activated?
Yes.
I think
Yes,
we
we
saw
do.
we saw the evidence of that when we were in the woods.
Of it, like, but for what purpose? Of just making the area necrotic?
well, I suppose it's souls. I mean,
Kills every. Oh shit!
Yeah, it
And
kills
then
everyone within the circle and teleports them.
teleports them where?
Two.
I think Jakarth has a flash of something from Jack, and it would be his version of Durak Antoni becoming a lich by killing a certain number of, I can't remember how many lives a lich has to kill. I think it's like 1,000 or something.
Yeah.
Has to kill a lot of people in order to, and take their souls in order to become a lich or something along those lines. I think that's something that Jack would know. And that sort of comes through into Jakarth, and he literally just goes, "Oh shit," and then says about the lich thing.
Oh. I mean, that's quite a large area. That's definitely more than if you even just blew up
Maybe
this
it's more than one
city-
lich.
But the thing is, I thought that Zaztam was behind all of this. He is already Lich.
Maybe he's making... No, I mean, I don't know enough about liches, but he wouldn't want other liches. Maybe there's someone doing a power play, or...
Mega Lich.
Yeah,
Lich
could
army.
be either a lich army or empowering themselves. What was the?
There is a
thing?
lot of power in souls. That maybe this is some sort of what do you say, power source.
There are rumors of certain powerful figures being able to possibly claim godhood with
I was gonna
souls.
say, someone's moving up onto...
Ascension.
Zaztan is apparently starting to make even more moves for gaining power. This is the only way to go.
There is a really left field way that this could go. It could just be that they want the real estate.
And everything's just wiped out. I mean, looking at it, it's quite large. It's a lot. It's a big area. I mean, all...
Maybe they have something big they want to put in its place, like a city from another plane.
Well, that's terrifying to think about.
There's so many things that it could be.
So, more liches, power play against God of Death, plane.
If this is another sacrifice to Ragnora, I'm gonna riot. I'm just saying.
Wait. Actually, out of character.
Yeah.
Isn't there a massive I forget the actual name,
but there's a sea dragon, like a sea turtley dragon. Is that within the map? Is
Oh,
that
that's a good question.
Not the sea turtle.
He's a massive sea dragon, and
Yeah, he's an island, isn't he?
Yeah. That's a
Is that the
powerful
one?
soul.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
powerful soul. Or if Harry knows this,
Yeah.
like possibly an ally to help Bosch the sea ones.
Oh. So
Yeah. There is
ask-
also a couple of key characters, NPCs that I know that are within this area.
I think there's a lot of people within this area that we might be able to.
I mean, like powerful NPCs.
I mean, Waterdeep's not in the circle, but there's various people there. There's Lord of them, but right. So when the one in the woods went off, that's a small enough area. We definitely know that there's ones in the sea. There's ones here. I'm not trying to change the subject. Arcana, you've done a lot of research. Do you know any areas that would be big enough to subtly, like you've just read the guidebooks, anywhere that they could sneak an obelisk? Or do you know about a festival that has Lord November got a statue built of him?
Yeah, I was going to say, have there been deliveries of any new statues? Or like we just heard, there's one in Tribor. Has there been anything new in Neverwinter that's recently been put up that could be these obelisks don't necessarily have to be obelisks. They could be just made out of the material, could they not?
Look to Zenmora. You didn't order like a statue of Clemvor or anything, did you?
No, but I remember that I'm supposed to go and get an audience with Lord Neverwinter, which would get us inside the big council room to see if anything's been delivered there.
We're not going to the castle. Castle Never is basically derelict. Lord Neverember operates out of the hall of, I can't remember my Neverwinter locations now, but it's actually a temple to Tyr, I think.
Yes, I think we had this when we were talking about Privy Gap too.
And you would know that. So sorry to talk over you, but
No, it's good to know that.
Would I know of any other temples having ordered randomly big statues on the temple to temple now? Like everyone's just gossiping about what the
Are you jealous? Like, oh.
the Shrine WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Give me. I'm bored of history. Give me a religion check.
That makes sense.
Am I actually any better at religion? Let's find out.
Oh, priest.
Oh, I am. Look,
There you go.
which one should I roll? Oh, this one's done me well. That one, ooh. Natural 20 for a 26.
Wow.
I'm
Nice.
good at religion, guys.
Nice. I've also found my notes. Hall of Justice. That's where Neverember rules the city out of. Part of the reason he's not gone into Castle Never is because that would be seen as making a claim for the throne, which Neverember has always maintained that he is a descendant of the original Nevers family, but no heir has ever come forward. And
Isn't it also haunted?
it is mildly haunted, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where he operates out of the Hall of Justice. Right, a 20 on religion to work out if any temples have recently got any massive statues. You can say this. Sorry.
20 for a 26.
Blimey. You can say without a shadow of a doubt that there are no big, expensive tributes that have been shouted out about on the network. That's like, you being leader of the Temple of Clemvor, you do have to meet up with the other priests, and you do have this kind of little chat group. Not literally a WhatsApp, but you do meet, a kind of religious council. But that you're aware of, a couple of them have some sacred days coming up. Particularly, you're aware that there's a kind of holy day of Lathander coming up. But they're not, they're not building any massive statues of their god that you're aware of.
anyone? No, if they're not publicly doing that, has anyone been basically making, like when you've got new furniture in and you have to kind of move things around in your home to make space for the new bookcase?
Have people been shifting around their
Have
furniture?
people been shifting anything around to make space for a new thing?
As far as you're aware, in any of the temples, not that you're aware of.
Okay.
Plus, it'd be quite big as well. Wouldn't it? Is there a Kellenvor Day coming up?
Oh, I realised you're asking me because I was like, well, Talia's the priest of Kalemvo.
Yeah.
You can just say yes, Talia, and we'll completely...
Yes, there is. There is now.
I would say that there is a, it's kind of very, very kind of decidedly deliberate. There is the Holy Day of Kalemvor happens literally the day before the Lightbringers Holy Day. So it's that kind of, that there is death, but then, life will always prevail. Not as a kind of, we went up to you, but as a kind of, the circle of life goes on, you must have death so that you can have light. So yeah, they are literally, when they're trying to wind you up, the Lathanderites do refer to your holy day as Lathander Eve.
Oh.
And that's coming up soon.
That is coming up in the next week.
They always say that they're all so kind and pious and gracious, but also some of them are just fucking dicks.
That could be a potential target date for them to get that going. So, and I don't think we have enough time to go around and explore the other locations that are above land to see if they're all in place or potentially try and catch them out. I think what you said before, Moira, about going to see Lord Neverember might be a good idea. Did the Thayans that aren't evil say anything about? Have we spoken to them about this plan at all?
I don't think you did.
Talia can't remember.
I think we left
my
them
other
somewhere.
notebook.
Yeah, Arcana.
I have a question for the DM.
Oh.
I know, how dare I?
Break.
So, from Arcana's arcana knowledge of magic circles, is it a case with these obelisks and the points on the circle that if we disrupt one, they're all disrupted, or would that just weaken the overall effect?
Give me an Arcana roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, nat 20 for a 35.
Wow. Unnecessary.
Unnecessary, yeah.
Arcana discovers the entire plot.
I see into the weave.
Yeah, you become the weave.
That sounds painful. With a natural 20 on Arcana, you would be willing to stake a very high bet that disrupting one should be enough to cause the whole ritual to fail.
Okay.
So were you able to locate the Neverwinter obelisk? That should be probably sufficient.
So we don't have to go traveling around to find who's concealing one. If we disrupt one and destroy it, that should disrupt the entire circle.
And
We should have a backup. Can we contact anyone to go after another in case we fail? Because that has happened before.
Well, we know plenty of people that we could contact and do a separate adventures for to go and destroy the other.
Yeah.
Um,
That would mean the ultimate circle's broken, but it will probably... I mean, sorry, Hera, but you lived through this. You know how bad it was when the other one went off. And if it's...
Was Rex ever confirmed as dead?
I mean...
No body was discovered.
Have you ever tried contacting him, Hera? I haven't. I didn't think about it when I heard he was dead. I thought he was just dead.
I think I can. I can cast sending, but I don't think I can.
can we? Resurrection, revive.
I'm thinking of sending, because we're going through the motions of what this thing could be. It could be something that's looking to take souls and funnel them somewhere. It could be that it's looking to teleport things. Going off of just to confirm the teleportation, whether it's one of the two. If there was a way for us to try and use sending to try and contact Rex, if he's dead, then we won't hear anything from him. Then we know that they are trying to get souls. But if he does communicate back, then we know that this is some form of teleportation, and they might be looking to bring something here by swapping it out with the area. It's happened somewhere else. Elturel or something was swapped around with the Feywild. It might be the wrong city, but
Does sending work across multiple planes?
I think there's a chance for it to fail.
Yeah, I mean, do you have sending, Hera?
I do.
Do you want to?
You can also ask Kalimvor. Can you not? Can you try to talk to Kalimvor and say, "Hey, this is Dan"?
I'm going to jump in and save your 2 spell slots, Scarlet, and say that I think that Rex has been dead long enough that Hera would have tried it. And you could not get through to Rex. You tried a couple of times.
Yeah.
I mean, Zamora, do you have conversations with Kalimvor? Is it that kind of religion? Can we just talk to, like, a god?
You can just talk to a god, but it depends on the god.
I'm not got a good relationship with Kalimvor, mostly through Rex telling me that people wouldn't like me, but Rex would. But is he? Doesn't like redheads, but
is this canon? Are we just?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's canon.
Well, actually, it was a lie that might have been told, but we don't know.
I feel like it's an urban myth,
Yeah.
and you're more inclined to believe it if you got more to risk.
It's one of those things that we've now spoked into existence, and so if we ever did speak to Kalimvor, who'd be like, "Hey guys, stop it! I'm lovely."
Just a skull with like a massive red on it. Just.
The reason he doesn't like gingers is they don't have souls.
I was going to say that, but I didn't know if I could say that.
We should not be saying these things.
Thanks, Rebecca. 2 years later, and you're causing trouble.
We're like 2-3 decades beyond that now.
That's old Kalimvor. That was back when he was a panther.
That's cringe now.
The kids weren't aware of this. We've grown past it.
So it's like if you've not had any success with contacting Rex, then it's looking like that they're looking to get as many souls as they can to funnel something, which then doesn't make sense as to why they're not including places like why they haven't expanded the circle, included Waterdeep. That would give them even more souls then.
Maybe they have a time limit.
Or perhaps a power limit. Maybe their power can only stretch so far. If we're assuming that Neverwinter Wood was a practice, maybe they are only trying to do so much.
How was the Neverwinter Wood obelisks activated?
Yeah.
Well, the zombies were attacking it, going towards it, and the green was there, and it was a lot of fighting, and then they got to it, and then a lot of bad.
You would also remember that the zombies were covered in vines. The reason the assistance had been disrupted was because Grave Mother had planted seeds on the zombies to stop them from working. So you would remember that the reason that the assistants who you've worked out were the zombies were being disrupted is because Grave Mother had kind of planted snapdragon seeds all over them, and they were restricting them from being controlled by other necromancers. So you know that there were kind of two forces vying at that point.
Mm-hmm.
and Grave Mother, I don't know if you've been up here, Grave Mother's currently sending some beasts to try and, like, purify the area, but it doesn't seem to be working. I mean, do we think these things can be, like, destroyed? Could we ask? Kind of, like, side glance to Jakarth and back, any of our friends to, like, send a group to, like, if we destroy at least one of these stones, it's going to stop the bigger circle, hopefully, but we have to worry about... Also, we probably need to contact, turn to Ninetales. Sorry, I know we've just met, but do you know ways of contacting people in these areas? If we can inform them that these, like, I don't want to destroy whoever this Lariel Silver Tongue or whatever statue is. That probably is not going to end up looking good, but we probably need to tell other people that these things are a risk.
I agree with you. If the more of these that we can target, the better. So perhaps I can contact my contacts in other towns, and we can try and orchestrate at least a couple of these obelisks to be destroyed.
That's good. Right, so as we said, we probably need to talk to the big man, and we probably need to think about areas that are big enough to hide something of that size. If not, if it doesn't look like they're necessarily going to be hiding them underground like we thought, there probably are somewhere obvious somewhere.
We could always try taking an aerial look. We are on a floating Earth mode, my friend.
Oh, I thought you meant we were going to steal a hot air balloon and then glance at O'Connor, and we will never steal vehicles. We're very honourable, but that's not a bad idea. We are five stories up as well. Race to the roof?
Oh, I was going to try and destroy the chains, but I suppose we can see what we see from here.
We would float away, wouldn't we?
We would end up to the moon.
How would we get back down?
We never would.
I had not thought this through.
Is this the highest point of Neverwinter?
I like your vibe, but yes, yeah.
I think, Josh, that Castle Never probably just pips it. But there are two Earth moats. There's this one. So the roof of this, I wouldn't say breaches the top. The other one that I don't think is actually tethered, but stays more or less in place, is it was once called the Shard of Night, and then it was a Netherese landmark, like a tower that had come to this plane, but it was cleansed and became a temple to Saloon instead. Saloon and I don't know how to pronounce this one. Seyanin Moonbow, Sehanin.
Tahin.
I prefer the first saying of it. Selaim Amun.
Saloon is goddess of the moon, and I think there's another goddess which is Seyanin Moonbow, but I've never had to pronounce it because I only ever read it into books.
Also, Shah is here, but we're not dealing with them. Just get out.
Oh no, it wasn't part of. It was destroyed by the Netherese in an attack on Moonshadow Hall.
The Netherese.
It became a tainted tower called the Shard of Night, and then when it was cleansed, people started calling it the Moon.
So, Ninetales, if that is your real name, what would be your suggestion as to what we do next? You came to us with all of this information. You must have a thought in mind of what we could do.
I mean, honestly, my plan was float around the Sword Coast for adventure, but I suppose that it does not make as much sense as just going to stand on the roof.
I mean, I can also, like, sort of fly, sort of. So, if
you can fly?
I've gone through some stuff. Would that help? Do you think I could get a real aerial view?
I think flight would probably give you a good view of the city. You could probably see something, especially if these monoliths are as big as they are supposed to be.
Okay. Don't be too scared by this. As I just fall back, as my shadow just whoomph this is me ghost walking, and I just turn into a ghost and start floating away. I can for 10 minutes. I'm incorporeal ghost. I'm just
Don't get caught by a strong gust of wind.
Help me!
I imagine you use like a Cuphead ghost for some reason.
Yes, it's like a little string.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only move like I have a movement speed of 10 feet, but 10 feet up.
Mm-hmm. And presumably not kind of interrupted by floors and such.
As long as I don't get embedded in them, then I'll take damage. But you know, I just very slowly like. You just see Giacomo like covering his eyes as he goes through the second floor.
You'll be fine. It's okay.
Thank you, hero.
I will not describe what happens as you float through the second floor.
Oh my goodness! You're lucky this is my kink to be observed. I wasn't looking.
I'm just really into ghosts.
I'm in the wrong cabin. So,
I have taken myself out of the scene.
That was really bad.
Oh God.
Okay, so I'm really sorry, Tom, but it's actually I'm just looking at the building because I was like, is it just the second floor? What's on the next floors? The next 3 floors, the 3 middle floors are all.
Oh
bedrooms.
no!
And then
Good to see you, Reverend.
the fifth floor is a fest hall, so a grand kind of conference space. And then when you get to the roof, you can see that there's a landing platform for any winged steeds, any kind of carriages being drawn by winged beasts and flying ships. There's a kind of basically an airport docking space on the roof. So there's a couple of staff members kind of here, waiting to mostly Aarakocra and winged tieflings, just in case a particularly strong gust of wind just. But yes, you can float up and up and up.
Good evening. As basically an opera ghost literally floats up. Like, good evening, fellows. I'm off to join Clemvor.
You are the Phantom of the Opera.
I really am.
Again,
Sean. Yeah. No, I was going to say, it's just like Giacomo has a moment of just being like, oh, yeah. Just taking the beauty of like taking in a city at night, but. I'm also going to say, if anyone else wants to go up on the roof, I'm not taking that away. I'm just going to see how high I can get. Make a
10 minutes. I'm not doing this. You've got 10 minutes.
That's fine. I'm not going to take. I'm not going to go.
I want to say it's 1,000 feet you could reach, if my math is right. 10 rounds in a minute.
Yeah.
10 feet a thing and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
1,000. I wouldn't go the whole hog.
And I think Giacomo is also very much paying attention to his timing, so to get himself back down.
Give me a perception roll.
Cool. This is too okay. That was a 7, but I'm adding my past life. It's a 10.
I give you my D10. I give you my D10.
I was going to say, I'm so sorry you wasted your... Well, not wasted. I'm so sorry you used your inspiration on history.
18. Thank you, Josh.
It's never a waste to use your inspiration on history.
I want to hear more about this opera when we go back in. You're like, right, Act 2. Yeah, so 18.
Cool. I will say that it's probably around about the interval at this point, so the rest of you do see people coming out and they're starting to chat about things. So those of you who don't want to know what happened later on in the show, right. What was it in total? It was
18. Oh my god. Oh no! As I see Clemvor going, oh, you poor sweet boy. I'm like, no.
No. You rolled the forbidden number.
I think we've got to invoke it.
I thought it was naturally.
Yeah. Unnatural 18, but
Unnatural 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then 18. You scan around the city. So you are very much kind of based sort of near the docks in the kind of protectorate ward. So going up a couple of 100 feet above the Moonstone Mask, you can kind of see the lay of the land. It's kind of like going up in the Shard, basically, for those of you who live close enough to London or cities with larger monuments. Other landmarks are available. You scan around, and at first you're just kind of... The trouble is you're looking in the wrong plane. And by plane, I don't necessarily mean the material plane. Yes, you're looking for a vertical 150-foot monolith. And then in the dock, you clock a 150-foot by 50-foot wide ship with a skull at the front.
Oh, you clever bastards. I think like we see like the floating mathematics around like Ghost Giacomo's head, and he's like, oh, it just has to be a side. Interesting. Very interesting.
You also see a number of skeletal winged beasts flying their way towards the Moonstone Mask.
Oh.
From the boat.
Right. I realize this is this thing. Like, I don't know. Like, if I my point being, I can turn this back on if I'm using one of my soul trinkets, so I could drop and then turn it on again and then turn it off. I mean, that wastes a soul trinket, but I think time is of the essence here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, where Giacomo, invoking his beloved bride, so backflips, drops as himself, like, here we go, and then turns it back on, straight through, bum, 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 disengage, whoomph. Okay, skeletons coming right here, the obelisk is the ship, we need to go, there's monsters.
Sorry, done the alarm here then.
I realise this is during the interval, and like Giacomo has landed on the table, and like, please enjoy the fish. We need to go.
Okay.
Should we be evacuating all of their patrons, do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. Pull the fire alarm.
I was going to go with immersive theatre. That I heard someone say it. Like, you go outside and you're part of the action.
This is all. Is the proprietor here?
Yes, you can definitely see Lisette. She's kind of talking to some noble-looking gentlefolk.
Is it? I think maybe that's the sort of thing. I think Giacomo's going to be slightly rude here and be like, really sorry to interrupt. I can inform you that some monsters are coming this way, skeletal creatures. I know you have no reason to believe me, but you need to evacuate. We're under attack by Lord Neverember's orders. It's a lie, but...
Very well. We will.
Did you say that last bit?
No. I was willing to roll deception if you want, or I could roll persuasion if you want.
Persuasion or deception, I don't mind.
I will roll persuasion.
Mostly it's true. In the
Can we assist?
Oh my god!
What?
I mean, we don't need to, but
It's a 32.
It's not even the highest roll of the day.
19 plus 13.
Damn.
It's not an 18.
Okay. Yeah. So she's persuaded.
Yeah.
She remains calm. So, okay. Evacuation procedures. We will
Thank you, ma'am.
activate them straight
No.
away.
It's like,
She kind of she clicks her fingers and a little silver bell appears, and instantly you notice all of the stewards dotted around the hall, as if they've just heard a noise, start indicating people to vacate the premises. They actually, some of them get out spell books and wands and start to create additional portals so that it's not just reliant on the one out the front.
We're giving the wizards jobs, so they're just like, oh, it's a nice quiet day now. Oh, portals. That's great fun.
Stalvar from tech is suddenly like,
Today's my day.
Minecraft.
Keep your wizards in business.
You know, you've got to pay those student loans somehow.
Right, fight them on the roof?
I mean, you can try. Yes, probably. If we can be a distraction, it's quite a few floors up, but you're filling up to running.
Yeah.
I think we should at least get outside.
Yeah.
Some people are kind of trying to get outside to that front door. So,
What do you think? Hold the door back, or do we just try and get them on when we're on the roof?
We need to get...
Gone.
Oh,
sorry, I missed that.
So I was just thinking about just as these windows.
Just go out the windows.
Just going to leap through the windows.
If in doubt.
If in doubt, window.
I mean, hold on. I could cast spider climb.
On yourself, or
I'm not sure how many people I could. It's 5th level.
that's wow.
Thank you.
As ever, the offer stands if anyone wants to be vortex warped up to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Offer stands.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, you've done it to me before. It's not that bad.
Okay, get in the gun.
Here I go.
Cool.
Spell as writ, it just says 1, and it doesn't seem to have any expansion. However, that sucks. So, you know, if this is going to be your best way of getting quickly up to the roof, I am more than happy for you to encapsulate more people.
Talk to your patron hero. Hey, how you doing?
Hey. Can I?
Oh dear, yes.
Well, just this once.
Thank you.
I'm fine, I don't need it, but thank you.
Yeah,
Before that
Go on.
happens, I will do vortex warp at Guacamo and then fire him out of the window up to the roof.
I land next to the tieflings. Good evening. First of all, I returned from the grave for the second time. Second of all, there is an attack on the opera house, so please prepare for violence.
we know, we got the bell.
Oh, marvelous.
They're kind of stood near to the doors, making sure that nobody tries to get out this way.
It's going to be a pleasure fighting alongside you. Chink, chink.
Who needs
They
a
kind of
poke?
look-
Who wants a poke?
Scuttle.
I'm already most of the way up the building.
Yeah, Zenmora can do it.
Yeah.
Jakar, how are you?
I'm fine, and my eyes just flash with fire, and my claws extend, and I just jump out the window and start climbing up because I've got a climb speed.
You could have done it with the spell, but hey,
Could have done it also
So-
on my feet. Yes, it's true.
Arcana and Hera, you are running up sideways, matrixing up this building.
Don't be scared of us. Yay.
Yeah, don't look in the windows as you walk past the 2nd through to 4th floors.
I have the
accidentally
bar out.
They just stop at one window going, medically speaking, you need to go get that checked out. Just carry on.
I just go past
We
one and
need to
go.
pause and leave.
I just go past one and go, oh my, and carry on going.
Oh my.
Don't tell the priests!
Oh, the clergy are here. Yes, you all make it to the roof. Just as you can hear kind of screams from below as they start to like lock the doors and just make use of the wizard folk on the inside of the building. You watch as 5 skeletal winged creatures, mostly looking like large skeletal like birds. One of them does appear to be a more dinosaur-like, more like a kind of skeletal pteranodon. But yeah, the majority of them are, and one's actually a skeletal periton, kind of half eagle, half deer. And they are all huge. They are all significantly kind of. If this mansion had not been so large, like there's no way they would fit on a normal tavern roof. But this building, there's space for all of them. One of them, however, is gargantuan, is the mama bird. Could everyone please roll me initiative?
Were you going to say something along the lines of a Draco-Lich for you, a Draco-Lich for you, and a Draco-Lich for you?
I kind of like glances at Moira. I was like, I think you can climb on this one. I don't mean this is going to be like a spirit again.
Luckily, I have advantage on initiative because one of them was an 18, which we know does not exist.
Yeah, well, I mean, I rolled an 18 for a 22. So, again, not in that... I tweak the nose of fate.
It's all good. It was mostly Evios. Anyway. Right, so... Did anyone roll over a 20?
Yep.
What did you both roll?
23?
21.
22.
Okay. Right, so Arcana, Giacomo, Zin Moira. I mean, there's only two of you left. I might as well just take you both now. Who got a 1 to 20? Right.
Imagine if you're like, no, 0. I just...
Sorry.
Nothing.
What'd you both get?
13.
Beautiful.
I rolled a 2 for a 7.
Okay. So I am very sorry to say, those of you who rolled a 21, a 22, and a 23 respectively in initiative, it was not enough to beat the 25 I rolled on a natural 20
Rude.
for my monsters.
Horrible. Worse.
And I think that is an apt cliffhanger to leave it, that you can be wait in terror for the smackdown that thou are about to receive. Yes, we will bring episode 4 to a close and get into this in episode 5. But thank you everyone for joining us for the strangely dramatic episode that was tonight's show. If you enjoyed tonight, we play D&D every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. UK time. You know me, I 6 p.m. somewhere. All of our shows are streamed here or there, if you're not watching it here, on twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. Also archived on youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg, which you might be watching it on in the future. It's all in the future for us. There are also podcast versions of our shows if you prefer to listen to me failing to remember to describe all of the actions that I'm doing. They're available everywhere that you can find podcasty appy things, except for the ones that we have to pay for because we don't want to do it. So search for Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There will be a link in the chat now. So do please join them. For every penny, every dollar, every cent, every goat goes to Tom. But it helps us to make the content that we do and also keeps us supplied in cheese and milk. Big thanks again to all of our sponsors and supporters. And don't forget, we are all over the socials as Roll Together RPG. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again very soon.